Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Goodnight Mare. I'm Mare, and today we're going to talk to you about why my husband and I decided that we were going to homeschool our children. So I know there are going to be lots of questions that follow this, but today we're just going to talk about the why. Why did we decide? First, let's talk about what exactly is homeschooling. Homeschooling is deciding to educate your child within your home by whatever guidelines and curriculum you decide to choose, and whatever learning style you decide to choose, that is what you use. And each state and county sometimes have their own laws and restrictions that you need to abide by. So, with that being said, we will go more into that in our next videos, but today we are just going to talk about why my husband and I decided why. The number one reason was behavior. On so many levels, this was our number one reason. Our kids were being bullied, period, end mark. There was nothing that was being done to reassure us that it would stop. We had filed reports. There were students in the school who were violent and aggressive, not only to other students, but to teachers. And there was very little support to ensure the safety of the other students, not just our students, but all the students. And the school just did not feel like a safe and happy environment to our children. This wasn't okay for us, and we noticed that our kids' behavior began to change because of this. They were becoming anxious, they were becoming irritable. We would ask them how their day was when they got off the bus, and they wouldn't be able to tell us because they were so upset. And it was really, really sad to see that change in our children because that's not how they behaved with us over the summer. When we realized the super change in behavior from our kids from when they were with us to when they were not with us, we realized that something had to be done because we didn't like the people that our kids were becoming from a school environment. And that hurt us as parents because we had placed them there. And we had trusted the school to educate our kids. But it wasn't the right place for our kids. And I realize that it's not like that for every family, but for our family, it was the number one reason, the bullying, and it had to stop. The number two reason was curriculum. And I want everybody to understand right now that our kids did attend public school. Our son attended from kindergarten until third grade, and our daughter attended from kindergarten and first grade. And I'm very grateful for the foundation and learning that they both were able to achieve through the educators that they had, through the teachers that they had. And I am so happy that they did attend school, even for that short amount of time. It gave us a base. It gave us a way to know, hey, this is what we're supposed to do. And I kind of feel like I needed that. I'm okay with it. But I would say that there was a gap after a certain amount of time that we had to fill. Our kids, because of the behavioral problems within the classroom, were having gaps in their learning. And we noticed that. So we would fill in those gaps when they were home, but we found it unfair that they would be at school for a full 7 hours and then they would come home and we would ask them to do more work. They were already irritable. They were already anxious. They were already frustrated. So asking them to do more work on top of all of that was very stressful. We realized that needed to change. So number two would be the curriculum. Okay, so number three for us were the school policies. What I mean by school policies is that the sick day policy. So if kids were sent home sick one day, they were able to come back to school sick the next day, which isn't the case. They should not be back at school the next day. So they were coming back to school and making other kids sick because their parents didn't either have time off or want to take time off. Whatever the case was, those kids were being sent back to school sick, and our kids were coming home sick as a result of that. That, in addition to the zero tolerance bullying that wasn't very zero, and the climate of the school. Now, when I talk about the climate of the school, I mean how the teachers reacted to each other, how they reacted to administration, how they reacted to the students who may have been a challenge, or maybe even those students who were just outwardly violent and aggressive. These teachers just felt like their voices were not being heard. And I do have to say right now that the teachers and educators at our school are the reason why we stayed for as long as we did. We loved our teachers. They were fantastic. They still are fantastic, and I'm very thankful to them, but it's really not their fault. They were not the ones who could enforce all of the policies that were not being enforced. So that was be number 3. The school policies were just not being enforced to our discretion, to our expectations. And there was really nothing we could do about that either. Number 4 for us is relationships. Our relationships suffered, all of them. I was always at school trying to figure out all of the above that we just talked about with the administrators and trying to do my part to volunteer. My kids just got what was left over, and that seemed so unfair. At the end of the day, all I wanted to do was snuggle my babies and tell them that everything was going to be all right, but I couldn't because I was so worked up about all of those other issues and trying to find a solution, when really, I swear, God could have smacked me in the side of the head and said, hello, solution right here, homeschooling. But that seemed really unfair that they would always get what was left over. My husband also. The kids constantly fought with each other because they were so stressed by their individual relationships with other students and just the whole environment of the school. Our family just started to feel like we were just always calming these kids down, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to them. It wasn't fair to us. And so with everything the way it was and us seeing that, hey, this just isn't working, we started to pray really, really, really hard. And we started to ask for signs. And obviously the signs were already there. We just had to make peace in our hearts and realize that this was the best situation and the best environment for our kids. And once we realized that, everything kind of flowed into what is now our homeschool and our joy and our happiness. And I could not be more thankful. So all of these reasons why have really just made me a very thankful and happy mama. I just cracked my knuckles. Sorry, guys. I really do have to say that my husband and I probably talked more about homeschooling our kids than we ever did about our decision to send our kids to public school. And it is so important to me that my husband and I are in alignment with what goes on in our homeschool and what our end result and end goal is for both of our kids. But the most important part is our kids get to be a part of that decision, and they are so much happier for it. I just wanted to say thank you for watching my video. Thank you for letting me tell you our reasons why. I hope that you will subscribe and hit the little bell icon so that you can get notifications for our next video, where I'll be talking about other aspects of homeschooling. And I hope that you have a blessed evening, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.